We now join our regularly scheduled program, already in progress.
And then later in the week, the committee will vote on what many members of Congress say will determine when, not if, the inquiry proceeds. Suzanne Malveaux, NBC News at the Capitol.
A complete text of the Starr report and President Clinton's videotaped grand jury testimony can be found on our website at msnbc.com. A program note, presidential impeachment prospects will be discussed in depth tomorrow on NBC's Meet the Press. House Judiciary Committee Chairman Henry Hyde, Ranking Democratic Committee member John Conyers, and former presidential candidate Ross Perot are among Tim Russert's guests. When NBC Nightly News continues in a moment, hailing a baseball hero in his fight against cancer. And later in Focus, the amusement park accident a grand jury is calling murder.
After his heart attack, Ed's doctor told him to exercise and take aspirin regularly. So he takes genuine Bayer aspirin to help prevent a second heart attack. But then there are those days when Ed's muscles ache and Ed could use extra strength Bayer. Nothing is stronger for pain. If you're on an aspirin regimen, you don't need Tylenol because doctors say you can take more aspirin for pain.
How are your legs?
Great. Race you home.
Bayer, powerful pain relief and so much more.
Another breakthrough from the 1 Hour Labs of Lens Crafters. New Featherweights Plus lenses. They're lighter, they're thinner, they're more impact resistant. And now they're twice as scratch resistant compared to regular plastic lenses. New Featherweights Plus, only from Lens Crafters, made in about an hour.
Life's an adventure because you're over 50 and still exploring. So take the Centrum made just for you, Centrum Silver, with age-essential nutrients specially adjusted to keep pace with your changing nutritional needs. Centrum Silver, it's a great time to be silver.
Savor the summer. Live Maine lobster, specially priced at $14.99. At Red Lobster, the season isn't over.
Linda. No, up here. Why waste time checking office supply prices? You know you'll always get guaranteed low prices at Staples.
Thanks. Candy?
Thank you. Ooh, caramel. Ooh.
Staples has guaranteed low prices on everything for your office, like binders for 68 cents. Want great prices? Staples. Yeah, we've got that.
Big League Baseball slugger Darryl Strawberry had surgery today to remove a cancerous growth on his colon. No word yet on the outcome. His New York Yankee teammates dedicated last night's victory to him. More from NBC's Rick Davis.
The Yankee locker room last night, a mixture of joy and concern. They won their division title, but their thoughts were of a player not there, Darryl Strawberry.
We're all here praying for Straw and hoping that he pulls through, and I'm sure he's going to do fine, but this is for him.
Darryl Strawberry has fought back from personal problems. Now he must fight colon cancer.
I have a great deal of confidence. I'm not afraid.
A survey done for NBC's Today Show indicated 130,000 Americans will get colon cancer. Slightly more than half will be women. About 10%, 13,000, will be under 50. The symptoms, a change in bowel habits, blood in the stool, abdominal pain. If discovered early, there is an over 90% cure rate. There are several screening methods. The most accurate is colonoscopy. A lighted scope checks for polyps or growths and is able to remove them.
I didn't feel queasy or sore or anything. I was fine.
For those with a family history of colon or other cancers, doctors recommend a search for 3 known cancer-causing genes. But researchers emphasize most colon cancer is linked to behavior, a diet high in red meat and fat, high alcohol use, smoking, and lack of exercise. As Darryl Strawberry undergoes treatment at this New York hospital, he already has his own role model. High school friend and fellow big league ball player Eric Davis had colon cancer in 1997.
I knew I had the determination and the drive to rehabilitate and do all the things that was necessary for me to get better.
Eric Davis came back to hit .327 this year, his highest average in 14 years in the major leagues. Quite a recovery model. Rick Davis, NBC News, New York.
Word from Los Angeles tonight that Roddy McDowall has died of cancer. The British-born actor was 70 years old. 2 weeks ago, McDowall made his last public appearance at the Los Angeles Zoo to celebrate the 30th anniversary of the film Planet of the Apes, in which he starred. McDowall started his career as a child actor, including a role in Lassie Come Home. In North Carolina today, police discovered packages containing explosives at 2 clinics where abortions are performed. Both were deactivated before they could explode. Last month, both clinics were damaged by fire. Now to America's war on terrorism. A company in California is working on new ways to protect airplanes from bombs. Details from NBC's Dan Lothian.
10 years ago, a terrorist bomb brought down Pan Am Flight 103 over Lockerbie, Scotland, killing 259 people on board and 11 on the ground. Now, after years of work, a Costa Mesa, California company is manufacturing a design the Federal Aviation Administration thinks will work.
The bottom line is if our container would have been in the Lockerbie incident, the aircraft would have survived, landed safely, and there would have been no damage to the aircraft or no injuries.
Using an explosive force twice as powerful as the one that brought down Pan Am 103, the FAA put this new luggage container, known as Ecos 3, to the test, and it passed.
Not only did it withstand the explosion, but the 2,000-degree fire that occurred after.
This new luggage container is a combination of layers of aluminum and glass held in place by a well-riveted frame, 80 pounds heavier than those now being used. Even though luggage is at times screened and there are procedures to match bags with passengers before an airplane ever takes off, some experts say the system is incomplete with big holes.
Show me your picture IDs, please.
Increased airport security due to America's current war on terrorism has also served to heighten awareness. Mary Schiavo, former Inspector General of the U.S. Department of Transportation, thinks the additional protection is crucial these days.
We act on a system of trust. We trust that people will put only their luggage on the planes. We trust they won't do anything stupid. We trust them, and I think that trust level is probably not deserved anymore.
The FAA is moving forward with this explosive-proof container, putting 10 in service overseas. One more step towards better protecting the traveling public. Dan Lothian, NBC News, Los Angeles.
And when NBC Nightly News continues, who is responsible when carnival rides turn dangerous?
Recently, we flew Carrie Eisenhandler and her family to Johns Hopkins for surgery to correct a pre-existing heart condition. We flew Eric Gonzalez to the Cleveland Clinic because of their renowned expertise in treating Crohn's disease. Hopefully, these stories fly in the face of the belief that healthcare isn't what it used to be. We're Aetna U.S. Healthcare, raising the quality of healthcare in America.
When I have arthritis pain, I want relief fast. I can't wait. When I rub in Aspercreme, it brings fast relief for minor arthritis pain. The relief lasts for hours, and it's odor-free.
Aspercreme, pain relief without aspirin.
No more excuses. Zyban is here. Prescription medicine, only available from your doctor. Ask your doctor about Zyban or call 1-888-650-PILL to find out more. Zyban. Now you have another choice.
For the 14 million women who worry about light to moderate bladder control, now there's new Double Protection Compose Panty and Pad system. The Compose Panty and Pad fit together for double protection. There's a super absorbent disposable pad, but the real difference is the separate washable panty. It gives you double protection with a quilted panel that won't let wetness through. So why worry? Get double protection with Double Protection Compose. Protection that goes beyond the pad.
Sunday on Today, Robin Williams gets crazy talking about his new film. Plus, Alan Alda's Animal Adventure. Sunday on Today.
In focus this evening, concerns about the safety of those amusement park rides. NBC's Jim Cummins on who's watching and who is not.
They are usually safe. According to the most recent statistics, there are only about 16,000 injuries a year. By one estimate, twice that many people are hurt each year while using shaving equipment. But when accidents do occur at amusement parks, the incidents send shockwaves through the communities involved. At this carnival in Austin, Texas last March, something went terribly wrong with a whirling ride called Himalaya. 15-year-old Leslie Lane was killed.
She came flying out and she hit the wall over here. And there was another girl that had fell out. And I think she had broke her leg because her leg was twisted. And there was a little bitty boy that fell out and his nose was bleeding.
An investigation determined that the safety bar, which was supposed to hold passengers in their seats, gave way. This week, a grand jury in Austin decided that the company which owns the ride should be punished. In what may be an unprecedented action, the owners of B&B Amusements, their employees, and the two men who inspected Himalaya were charged with murder. The indictment says that on the night of the accident, the ride was being operated at an excessive speed, even though it had inadequate safety equipment and had not been adequately inspected. The maximum penalty, 99 years in prison. Defense attorneys say the charges are unfair and inappropriate. They could be reduced in the weeks ahead. A Texas law professor says getting a murder conviction in a case like this will be difficult.
That the prosecution has to prove one of two things. Either that the defendants actually and consciously wanted the victim to die, or that they acted knowingly, that they were aware of a reasonable certainty that what they were doing would cause the victim to die. And so that's a pretty steep burden.
After the accident in Austin, the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission issued 3 safety alerts about the Himalaya. And in a separate action, the commission urged all states to immediately inspect mobile rides called Ranger, Kamikaze, or High Flyer. While most states have some mandatory regulations or inspection programs, 8 states don't require any safety inspections for amusement park rides. 6 others, including Texas, permit private inspections rather than official government checks. The industry points out that horseplay by patrons who disobey park rules causes far more mishaps than faulty equipment does. And as amusement park rides try to provide more thrills and chills, accident prevention continues to be a top priority. Jim Cummins, NBC News, Dallas.
When we continue, using the threat of violence to bring an end to violence.
Has frequent heartburn been a persistent problem for you? Have you treated it but still suffer on 2 or more days a week? Do you keep getting heartburn even though you've changed your diet? Your heartburn may be due to acid reflux disease. Ask your doctor about Prilosec. 1 capsule daily can provide complete 24-hour heartburn relief because it controls acid for 24 hours. 24 hours. Ask your doctor if Prilosec is right for you. Call to learn more. The most common side effects are headache, diarrhea, and abdominal pain. Want 24-hour heartburn relief with 1 daily dose? Ask your doctor about the most prescribed acid control medicine in America, Prilosec.
Ah, the good old days of supermarket shopping. When nothing stood between you and your next meal. Nothing. But today, there are materials that help lock out harmful contaminants and reduce spoilage, keeping us safe and the food we eat fresh. Plastics make it possible. So now, the rest is history.
Another breakthrough from the 1-hour labs of LensCrafters. New Featherweights Plus lenses. They're lighter, they're thinner, they're more impact resistant. And now they're twice as scratch resistant compared to regular plastic lenses. New Featherweights Plus, only from LensCrafters, made in about an hour.
Overactive bladder.
That strong, sudden urge. Having to go so often. The fear of wedding accidents.
If you're one of the millions who live with some of these symptoms, there's something you should know. Overactive bladder isn't normal at any age, and your doctor has treatments that can help.
Need a break? I can wait.
These treatments can help reduce the symptoms of an overactive bladder.
You want to go back? In a while.
Overactive bladder isn't normal at any age, so talk to your doctor today about treatments that can help.
Now to Kosovo, where tens of thousands of refugees and charges of atrocities committed by Serbian troops have led to threats of military intervention by NATO. For 8 months, a small separatist force in Kosovo has been fighting the might of the Yugoslav army, which is now scrambling to defuse the situation and avoid NATO airstrikes. NBC's Ron Allen is in the region tonight.
A day of relative quiet allows supplies to reach some of Kosovo's desperate refugees. Serb soldiers are trying to prove their ceasefire is real, taking down checkpoints, putting away some of their heavy weapons, and showing the remains of Serbs who've been killed in the fighting. The question is whether Yugoslav President Slobodan Milosevic truly has halted his 7-month crackdown on ethnic Albanians, or if he's pulling back just enough to prevent NATO airstrikes. He's a master at toying with the U.S. and its allies.
He will pursue Serbian nationalism as long as it suits him, and then, when he has gone too far, when it looks as though he might be hit in earnest by NATO, then he withdraws.
Despite worldwide condemnation, Milosevic's crackdown in Kosovo plays well to a domestic audience. Serbs insist Kosovo is their cradle of religious and cultural history. The way they see it, Albanian extremists seeking independence are trying to steal something sacred.
All the truth, the facts are on the side of Serbia. We are protecting our territory.
And as for the recent massacres that might compel NATO to attack, the Serbs insist hundreds of their people also have been killed.
Let's investigate. Let's investigate all crimes. And after that, we can talk about punishing or not punishing Serbia.
After years of sanctions and isolation, people here feel bitter about threats of NATO airstrikes. The problems in Kosovo, he says, should be solved by our country's laws. Many here feel that once again, it's only the Serbs taking the blame. While Yugoslavia's leaders say they're doing everything possible to stop the bloodshed in Kosovo, the problem is they've made the same promises many times before, assurances which have turned out to be temporary or simply not true. Ron Allen, NBC News, Belgrade.
When NBC Nightly News continues in a moment, the monkey business they've been coping with in some cities in central Japan.
Hey, you want a green light to eat like never before? I do. Healthy Choice has a whole menu of unbelievably delicious dishes, incredible meals.
New chicken stir fry with a crispy fried egg roll. Big hearty handful stuffed end to end with gooey cheese. My favorite, shrimp and vegetables with bow tie pasta and a creamy basil garlic sauce.
All around 5 grams of fat. 5. There's no stopping me now. Healthy Choice. Your green light to eat what you like.
What I look for in denture adhesive is something that's strong. It has to be real strong.
Watch. Super Polygrip has improved holding power.
That's the kind of strength and holding power I'm looking for. Improved Super Polygrip holds a lot better.
No more excuses. Zyban is here. Prescription medicine, only available from your doctor. Ask your doctor about Zyban or call 1-888-650-PILL to find out more. Zyban. Now you have another choice.
These days, everything's faster. So how come pain relief isn't faster? Introducing Advil Liquid Gels. On tough pain, they're stronger and faster than extra strength Tylenol. New Advil Liquid Gels. Pain relief just got faster.
You already know how important calcium is for your bones, but did you know that 85% of women still don't get enough? So start your day with Total. It's the only leading cereal that's an excellent source of calcium, even before adding milk. In fact, Total has more calcium than the milk itself. No other leading cereal comes close. Simple, low-fat, delicious. So good, you can feel it in your bones. Total Raisin Bran, Total Cornflakes. One bowl, one great source of calcium.
The debate rages on across America and Capitol Hill. Should this man and his committee bring impeachment proceedings against the president? Monday morning on MSNBC.
And now this story. There are bandits on the loose in parts of Japan. Well, actually, they're menacing monkeys who are stealing in broad daylight. Here's NBC's Kiko Irisaka.
At this 17th century shrine, an illustration of an ancient proverb. See no evil, speak no evil, hear no evil. But these real-life monkeys are full of malicious mischief. The macaca fuscata have lived for centuries in the Nikko Mountains of Japan, feeding on leaves, seeds, and the occasional insect. But now routinely they head down from the mountains in search of tastier food, supplied by humans.
I love the monkeys.
Professor Masaaki Koganezawa has studied monkeys his whole life. His research shows over the past decade a dramatic change in the monkey diet.
Bananas, oranges, and so sometimes feed the candies and as a cake.
He says don't blame the monkeys. It's because humans are always feeding them, fueling an insatiable desire for sweets. When they don't get enough handouts, they attack farmers' fields or steal what they want. And if at first they don't succeed, then they just try again and again. So now the humans are waging war against the monkeys, shooting to scare, not kill, and using high-tech tracking methods, attaching transmitters to monkeys, then monitoring their movements with radar. Itaro Shimizu is a one-man monkey patrol. His mission, to keep the animals out of farmers' fields. But he says usually the monkeys outmaneuver him.
My goal is just to scare them, but they're just too clever.
So far, there are no signs this monkey mania is letting up. Increasingly bolder monkeys are now even invading major cities like Osaka and creating havoc. Scientists say the only solution is to start a major education drive to teach the humans to stop feeding the monkeys and to encourage the monkeys to return to their natural habitat. But as long as people ignore requests to stop the roadside feedings, this sort of monkey business will only get worse. Kiko Itasaka, NBC News, Nikko, Japan.
And we have late word now on a story from our program, the cancer surgery today of big league baseball slugger Darryl Strawberry of the New York Yankees. And the news is hopeful. Doctors say the tumor they removed from his colon measured about 6 centimeters. But their initial belief is there is no evidence the cancer has spread. A decision on chemotherapy will come later. But to repeat, initial indications are the cancer surgery on New York Yankees star Darryl Strawberry was a success. That is NBC Nightly News for this Saturday. Len Cannon will be here tomorrow. I'm Dawn Fratangelo. Good night, everyone.
NBC News, America's news leader.
Sunday, for the first time,